Hi, this is Jamie Baker with Keller Williams North Shore West. I'm a licensed realtor in both Illinois and Wisconsin. If you are interested in selling, buying, or just have general real estate questions, please let me know. I'd be happy to help. Today, let's talk about buying a home and if it makes sense to buy today or wait out the market. Currently, interest rates are sitting in the high sixes and breaching into that 7% range. This has a lot of buyers wanting to wait out the market and hold for lower interest rates. It is also causing a lot of those potential sellers to wait until interest rates come down. First-time home buyers are looking at the rates and comparing it to their current rent. They might not see the advantage of jumping into buying just yet. And experienced buyers are clenching onto those 3% rates with their G.I. Joe Kung Fu-like grips. But is holding out for a better rate really the best idea? In Lake County, the average sales price of a home in December was $375,000. In McHenry, it was $340,000. In Lake County, let's say you're a first-time buyer using an FHA loan, getting you a 3.5% down payment. Your mortgage after taxes, insurance, and PMI would run you roughly $2,900 a month. If you're using a conventional loan and putting down 20%, which helps eliminate things like PMI, you would have a mortgage payment in that $2,500 range. Let's say you wait until the end of 2025. Chicago Title surveyed Fannie Mae, MBA, Wells Fargo on their predicted rates throughout the year. In Q4, they're predicting interest rates to hover around 6.3% on a 30-year fixed loan. This rate would save between $150 to $200 per month, depending on the loan that you use. And over the course of the 30-year mortgage, this represents a 5-year savings between $9,000 and $12,000. That's very good savings potential, but it could also mean that you can buy a more expensive home than you might have been able to afford before because of that lower rate. However, NAR is predicting that home values will continue to increase in 2025. They predict a more moderate increase, which would help level out the housing costs and suggest homes will rise by about 2% in 2025. Typically, we see homes increase in value between 3 and 4%. With a moderate increase of 2%, that would put the average Lake County home in the $380,000 range or $2,900 a month with an FHA loan using a 3.5% down payment, or $2,400 a month with conventional and a 20% down payment. Now you can start to see that the savings is dwindling a little bit. What isn't factored into the NAR prediction is that the 2% increase includes an increase in new construction homes of around 11%. That 11% is a nationwide number, with more than half of those homes being built in the southern states. Illinois, as reported by IllinoisPolicy.org, suggests that we are the third worst state for new construction homes. So what does that mean for an Illinois buyer? Fortunately, there will still be a lower number of homes on the market, with a lot of buyers creating heavier competition on the appropriately priced homes. More competition almost always creates higher prices. The Illinois housing market traditionally lags behind the national market, and while other areas of the country are seeing an influx of listings, with many southern markets shifting into a buyer's market, that just isn't the case here in Illinois. The buyer demand isn't going down, and with interest rates reducing into the lower sixes, it is very likely we see home values increase significantly yet again. In fact, many economists predict that the 6% interest rate will become the new standard rate. So if you're holding out for another run at 3% rates, it just isn't going to happen. With Lake County's values increasing 6.5% from this time last year, it's more likely that we see values increase similarly to 2024 than the national predictions. In fact, Illinois might not experience a downturn in home values for several more years to come. Even with our high taxes and the high interest rates, it hasn't slowed buyer demand. And if there's an even modest decline in interest rates, that demand will certainly increase. If that is the case, if we wait till year's end to buy a home, that same $373,000 house could very likely sell for something in the 395 range, which represents a like 6.5% increase in Q4, which ends up costing you $3,000 a month on that same FHA loan with 3.5% down, or $2,500 a month on a conventional with 20% down. Add in some uncertainty with predicted interest rates, and waiting could very well end up costing you more money in the long run. When you ask any expert, you can't time the real estate market, which is why if you are in a position to buy or sell real estate, you should do so now. Waiting for better prices or waiting for better rates will almost certainly cost you in the long run. There has been 2 years in the last 50 which housing values have decreased. And even if the interest rate is high today, you can refinance tomorrow. My best advice is to date your rates and to marry your home. Do it sooner than later because the price of the home today will be higher tomorrow. However, that rate next year or the year after might reduce. My personal advice would be, if you are thinking about buying or selling a home, do so now. Early in the year, before we start hitting the heavier time, or Aprils or Mays, Junes, and Julys, you can still find a deal as a buyer. There are plenty of homes that are listed, and you can go out there, and this is the time where we can potentially negotiate closer to list price, and we've seen some homes sell for under list price this time of year. If we start waiting into the major buying seasons, that's when those housing prices, they're going to increase. We're going to see more and more competition come to market, and with the predicted lower interest rates, we're going to start seeing more people come into the buying pool, which is just going to increase the prices that you may have expected. Remember, if you have any questions on real estate, if you're looking to buy, if you're looking to sell or invest in real estate in 2025, please give me a call. Again, this is Jamie with Keller Williams North Shore West. My phone number is 847-322-6804. I hope to talk to you soon.